Okay, so we've got around 2 hours to go until tonight's close. And what I wanted to do was run through the day trade entries and exits in the various futures instruments using the Wave Cycle Trader trading strategy. And these are the trades that were called and marked on the charts that stream live in the Wave Cycle Trader trading hub throughout the day. So starting with the German DAX, and we start with the European session, that opens at 8 a.m. European time. Personally, I don't like to trade the first 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll often wait until we get the 9 o'clock automated support and resistance bar. But in this case, this morning, we were looking lower. If you went to the pre-UK Open market update that was done live in the room 30 minutes before the European Open, I was looking for the B-wave top and therefore a move down initially in the German DAX today. There's the open. You can see you get that volatility, the spike around it. And then around 10 minutes or so in, it gave an absolute beauty of a short setup. So we got the CRSI sell signal, we got the squeeze momentum going negative, we got the break and retest. And I posted this exit, I exited here because it was still quite early in the session. We were starting to curl up on the CRSI. It went down a little further, but no matter. And then I waited for the next entry. Long entry here on the CRSI buy, break of it up through support, exit here on the break of the VWAP. That was, a couple of pips of profit. This one was a bit more decent. Then we got the better entry around 10:30 European time. This was a peach of an entry, and these are the ones that you really are looking for during the day, where we've got the CRSI is already in a green buy zone. We get a breakout buy signal. They're the strongest. We've had the squeeze building up, the momentum going positive, up through the VWAP, but most importantly, through the support resistance line. And, bear in mind, look at the stops we're using. We're using minuscule stops. That allows you to use quite decent stakes on your futures trades or spread bets. And up we went. And we exited here. Bear in mind, we always use the CRSI indicator. You can turn off the price on these charts, and you can do it on the ones that trade in the hub, and just mark on, it's a good exercise, just mark the CRSI entries and exits, and you see just how accurate they are. And that's without adding in any of the other tools that we use in the Wave Cycle Trader strategy. But we exited here, we got diverged momentum from this high to this high, and we got the squeeze to the short side, but guess what? We got the CRSI sell signal. So we came out at that point. Patience paid off, and guess what? CRSI buy, squeeze, up we went, add to it. The exit was here. And why was the exit here? That was for two reasons. Firstly, we also had momentum coming off. We got the CRSI sell signal. But look where we were. We were approaching, we had just gone 1 p.m. in the UK. That was 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We knew we had CPI data coming out at 8:30 p.m. You do not want to be holding futures contracts into news items of that nature. So we were going to sit all of that out. And personally, I also wanted to sit out the open of the US session. So we missed all of this nonsense here. But moreover, we were done with the DAX. I don't tend to trade the DAX during the US session. I'll flip over to trading the ES or the NQ. And that gave a total of 90 pips of profit today in the German DAX. So a bloody good morning before the US stock markets had opened. To add to that little haul, if you go also back to the pre-European Open market update, I was looking for a move up in CL. We'd had a clean 5-wave move down and we were starting to turn. We were looking for at least a B-wave correction back up towards, guess where? The 764 retrace fib. So we've got a target ideally up at 76.82. Ultimately, whether we were going to make it all in one day. And as we opened during the European session, we were all the way down here at 73.44. So where did we go? We don't trade that first little period. Then we got the long entry here around half an hour into the session. We got to add, we got to exit. Exit was on the CRSI sell signal. We got another buy. This was a good one. It was a breakout buy on the CRSI with a squeeze. Guess what? Fired up to here, and that gave us an exit. We got a long with an exit here that gave us a very short trade. But then we got a picture perfect short entry below resistance, squeeze, downside, CRSI breakdown buy, and also look at these cycles. It's picking out the tops and bottoms of the moves. These are dynamic, they update on every bar, so they should keep you reasonably well informed during the day. That gave us the short trade here with the exit here. Now, we then chose to sit this out in CL. We were already up at that point, 65 points for the morning, and we didn't want to sit through the US Open or the CPI data. And I've marked this trade here. I've not included it. This was on news, and I missed it. I would question how easy it was to get that trade. So I've not included that. I've marked it up on the charts. But when we did look at it, the advice in the room was not to chase. And indeed, it exited here. If you'd started chasing here, you'd have lost money. And the next trade was to the short side. Short trade, squeeze. We were already on a CRSI sell signal. Cycle was still pointing down. Retest of a broken support. Down we went. There was the exit. Why? CRSI sells a buy signal against us, and momentum starting to come off. Long entry. We came back up through here. We were back through the VWAP. I waited for a break of this high before going long. That coincided with the breakout buy on the CRSI and the squeeze firing long. That gave us this trade. The exit again, guess where? The CRSI sell signal was the exit. The entry again, we got the squeeze building up here. We got it firing long here, up through support, and 2 levels of support in actual fact. These support and resistance levels and block trades are all automatic within the software. They just populate the charts for you. You don't have to do anything. They all stream with real-time live data in the trading hub, as you know, and you can select a whole range of different instruments that you might want to trade. Up we went. There was the exit. Guess why? CRSI sell signal again. And we were very close at that point. We were on notice. We'd reached the 618 retrace fib. We were approaching a key resistance zone and the 764, whether we were going to push up and get it. But we'd had an absolutely superb day by then. All told, in CL today, taking those trades and ignoring the one that we missed, 220 pips in CL, 65 of them in the morning, giving 155 points of profit in the UK session overall, and then the other 155 pips in CL were during the US afternoon session. I'm done with it for today. I'm not interested. The only thing I might consider now is a trade in the ES in the last hour, but what we knew coming into today in the US indices, that the pattern was tricky, given yesterday's breakout, but the NQ hadn't quite broken out, and there was a lack of follow through overnight in the ES. So we wanted to be cautious. We also knew that we had the CPI data before the open. I did not trade the ES, and I didn't look to trade the ES during the London session. I had no interest in it until we got into the and beyond the 15-minute settlement period after the US Open. So there's our CPI move, and there was the first long entry today. Now, we took 50% off here. I was being uber cautious. We got 7 pips to do that. And up we went a bit further. Then I chose to stay in this trade. I'd initially put my stops at entry, which again was notified in the room and on the charts, but we also have the benefit of being able to watch the real-time options flows. They had turned positive here. Moreover, the NQ bounced here and never looked back. It didn't take out this entry. That gave us the confidence not only to stay in the ES, but as we got the breakout buy, the break back up through this, as a CRSI breakout buy, the squeeze building, momentum, that was a textbook entry in CL, in ES. So I added back the half that I'd taken off here, then up, retest, and I added again, and I added again. My exit was here. Why? Momentum coming off, CRSI sell signal. Guess what? Down we came, retested the break. It gave you a picture perfect short entry with an exit down here at 58.25. The long entry here, now that was trickier. We got the CRSI buy, the squeeze going long, but you were having to give it a little bit more room on the stop initially. and we didn't know whether it was going to be corrective against this. So we added the retrace fibs in the room, and guess what? We came up and hit the 618 to the penny. Two ways to exit that. You can either do it intuitively as you come off the fib on the basis that you can always enter long again, or the system would have taken you out on the break of the bottom of this support zone that also coincided with the break of the VWAP. And so, funny enough, we got this as well. So that only yielded a few pips. However, on a day where the market's gone nowhere, it's been extremely tricky. We didn't trade the European session in the ES either. That little lot of trades bagged you a total of 51 points in a single day in the ES. So to recap, just by following along with tight stops, using the Wave Cycle Trader strategy and tools, all of which is live in the room with all of this on it, you had the benefit of 220 pips of profit in CL, 90 pips of profit in the German DAX, and 51 pips of profit in the ES Mini in a single day. In a day that, CL was fairly straightforward, but the rest of it was actually one of the trickier days with less points available than we've seen in other sessions. So I hope that helps. I've left the charts with all of this annotation on for any of you who want to go back and look at them, either in Wave Cycle Trader software, you can see them in the shared systems analysis, or in the Trading Hub indeed.